Right, hi everyone. So this is a video lesson on drawing line graphs. So we're expanding on what we've done previously. So that yesterday's lesson was all about reading line graphs. So today we're going to be drawing them based on tables and based on information that we are given. Can you please pause this video just now and complete the starter and then play it again once you have done so. So you should have attempted these questions. I'll start going over them just now with you. So we're looking at this diagram here. Sally recorded the number of cars in a car park every 2 hours. So that ranges from 9 AM up to 7 PM, and she recorded her results in this graph. The one thing to note here is that you can see the numbers up the side are going up in 20s. The single lines in the middle here would be 10, 30 and so on. That would be 50 in there. And each box represents 2 cars. Okay, so you can see there's 5 boxes between 0 and 10. That means every box has to represent 2 cars. So when we're looking at these questions here, when were the most cars in the car park? That's up the very top there at the peak, so that'll be 1 PM. How many cars were in the car park at 11 AM? So we go to 11 AM along the bottom, work our way up to the line, which takes us to the number 80. At what time were there 24 cars? So we're looking at the 20. That's going to have to be that dot there at 5 PM. And estimate the number of cars in the car park at 10 AM. So 10 AM is going to be in between 9 and 11. If we draw a line from 10 AM up to our graph, we should see that we get to around 60. That's not telling us that at 60 there was exactly that many people, but it's telling us that there were estimated to be 60 people in the car park. Okay, it's just an estimate, it's not the exact number. Now, E, how many less cars were there in the car park at 3 PM than 1 PM? So at 3 PM, we had this dot here, which would be 62 cars. And at 1 PM, we had between 80 and 100, so that was 90 cars. We are looking from the difference between those two numbers. So if we take the larger and then take away the smaller, we will end up with 28 less. Okay, so we're taking away those two numbers to get the answer to this one. Okay, hopefully you found those okay. If not, have another listen to this video and see if you can work out why that is the case. Today, as I say, we are looking at drawing line graphs. So we'll be expanding on yesterday's work and attempting to draw various line graphs based on some information. You will need your jotter or paper, preferably lined paper rather than plain paper. That way we can actually get our scales drawn accurately enough as well. You will need a pen or a pencil, preferably a pencil, just in case you make any little mistakes. And you will need a ruler. If you've got one, that's great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. You just need to try and do your lines a little bit straighter. So this first piece of information that we're going to create a line graph from is rainfall over the course of a year. We don't know where it is, we're not told anything like that, but what we can say is we can still create a line graph from this piece of information. Okay, so we're told the months throughout the year and we're told how many millimetres of rain fell during that month. Now, to do this line graph, I've already set up the axes for you. All we need to do is fill in what our labels are going to have to be. Okay, so down the bottom on the x-axis is going to be my months. So I'm going to say that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now normally I would do this lesson on the board and I'd be able to fit those words in. I've just put the letters down here just now. You could put the letters down the way, so J-A-N, F-E-B and so on to squeeze them in. On the side we have got to use our numbers, so it's millimetres of rainfall. We can see that goes from 0 in August up to 20 in January. So you can flick back a couple of minutes if you need to see that slide again. I am going to go up in 2s here. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. It's very important when we do these, just like with bar graphs, that we keep the same scale. Okay, we keep the same gap between each of our boxes. Now, I need some labels for this as well. So month is what's represented down the bottom, and rainfall is what's represented up the side. So rainfall, and what are we measuring in? It is millimetres. So I've got the tables open in front of me on a different screen. You can flick back from the video if you want to justify why I'm plotting each of these numbers as I am. So for January, we're told it's 20 millimetres of rain. So a little cross can go on that bit. February was 18. March was 10. I'll just plot the rest of these. April would be 18. So we can maybe think of some reasons why that might be. May is 8. June is 2. July was 3. Now I don't have a block for 3, but between 2 and 4, halfway between those two, so halfway between those two boxes would give me 3. So that's how we would fill in the odd numbers. September is 5, so halfway between 4 and 6. October we had 11, halfway between 10 and 12. November was 13, halfway between 14 and 13, and December was 18, so back up. Okay, now you can join these up as you go, or you can wait until the end and join them up. If you've got a ruler, then your graph will be a lot neater than mine is. Okay, so please try and join these up with a ruler if possible. If not, then you can see I'm just trying my very, very best. I can't put a ruler on the screen, which is a pain, but I'm just trying my very best to get them as straight as possible. Okay, and we're just joining up the middle of the X's to create the line graph. Once we've got the line graph, we could answer some questions about it if we were asked to. There might be a reason why there's more rain in April, even though it looks to be on a downward trend. That could be based on April showers. The rest of it's kind of what we're used to seeing: less rain in the summer months, more rain in the winter months. Okay. Next, we have got a table that is based on a little experiment. So we're taking a Bunsen burner underneath a beaker of water and we're heating it up and just recording the temperature of the water after so many minutes. So the number of minutes are going to be our x-axis along the bottom, and the temperature is going to be our y-axis up the side. Okay, so again, I've drawn out the grid here already. I just need to now put in what each of the numbers have to represent. So the time has to go from 0 to 10. So 0 at the start, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so that's my time. You can see it's on the line rather than in the boxes this time. And the temperature has got to go up to 100. So what I'm going to do is go up in tens. As you can see with the previous table, I've got no 5s, 6s, 7s or anything like that. So going up in tens makes the most sense, especially because I have to go all the way up to 100. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so I can squeeze those in. Again, the reason it's a bit squashed is because I'm doing it on the tablet rather than on the board. So, after 0 minutes, we have got a temperature of 10 degrees. So that's our first mark. After 1 minute, 20 degrees. After 2 minutes, 30 degrees. After 3 minutes, 50 degrees. So that was quite a jump there. After 4 minutes, 60. 5 minutes stays at 60 as well. 6 minutes we've got to 70. 8 minutes, no, 7 minutes is 80. 8 minutes is also 80. And 9 minutes, 90. After 10 minutes, it has reached 100 degrees. So we can join up these then. one after the other. They'll make a nice straight line some points, and other points will have to then come off that line to join them up. Okay, there we are. The only thing left to do here is to put my labels on. So down the bottom we had time, and that was measured in minutes. So put our units on the side as well. And then up the side we had temperature, and that was measured in degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's just the very basics of drawing line graphs. We need to make sure we have the labels, we need to make sure that we have the numbers correct as well, and of course, as we saw with the first graph, it doesn't always have to be numbers down the bottom there as well. Okay, it could be words, things, shapes, etc. Okay, so you will now go back to the Teams page and complete the questions that I've listed there for you. If you do have any questions, can you please make sure you ask them, and I'll be on a wee live lesson just to have a little meeting with you and see how you're getting on. Okay, thank you everyone, and off you go. Good luck.